Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. We've got markets higher, led by wheat and the soybean and soybean oil. Outside markets, looks like stocks will be higher, and crude is also higher, tested 113 overnight. We've kind of backed off the overnight highs in some of our markets, but I think there's three things in which the grain markets are going to have to figure out for price direction. Number one, the Ukraine war continues. About 500 million bushels of Ukraine corn, and maybe the similar amount, maybe 550 million bushels of Black Sea wheat is not being shipped. For the first time ever, Egypt announced they will look at India wheat to be imported for their needs. Logistically, though, that could be a challenge. We also note that the southern plains hard red winter wheat over the last 10 days has seen some moisture. There probably is going to be at least another 10 days in which they'll have a chance for scattered showers. The best rains are down in Texas and East Oklahoma and Southeast Kansas. And as these rains today especially are moving to the east, they're causing regional flooding in some of the soft red winter wheat areas and also maybe delaying corn plantings. It was interesting yesterday that one of the biggest bulls in the marketplace turned bearish. Ag Resources weather person says that April now is going to be normal weather across most of the Midwest and plains. Our weather guy says that starting in mid-April, we will start to see some ridge building and some drier patterns across the southern plains. And so that divergence allows for extreme volatility in the marketplace. As far as other news in the corn and beans, for beans, it's been 10 days since China has bought new crop U.S. beans and 2 weeks since they bought old crop beans. And they're not a big buyer of U.S. corn. 6 million tons of that Ukraine corn was going to go to China. So the market kind of needs to see some new demand by China and others for U.S. beans and corn to make things tighter and bullish. We also note that today, Informa will be out with revised numbers of U.S. corn, soybean, wheat, and crop planted acres. USDA is March 31 with their official numbers, and that's going to be really important. We're also looking at the fact that our grain markets might be overbought. For the first time ever, 25% of the corn, soybean, and wheat open interest is managed funds. And that suggests the market is vulnerable for wild swings, especially if the war ends or if the weather improves here in the United States. We also have almost a record width between where prices are right now and the 50-day moving average. Usually the funds trade off that 50-day moving average, and since we're so high relatively to it, they are adding to strength. But if something were to change, that 50-day moving average is quite a bit lower than where we're trading right now. Ag Resources is probably going to go out today and ask farmers to sell some more old crop corn and soybeans. As always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day, and remember, always treat people like you yourself would like to be treated.